The dominant image of religious life at one time back in the 40s and 50s was kind of you withdrew from life, so it was a more monastic metaphor that described our life. After Vatican II, and particularly the document, The Church in the Modern World, was we had to engage in the world. We went back to our very beginning roots and discovered our women weren't in cloister, weren't locked behind the convent doors, as my mother was afraid was going to happen to me.
Over the years, if you look at our history, a lot of the work has been direct outreach to people living in poverty or living on the edges.
How we got into education and healthcare and some dimensions of social work was because those were the needs, the unmet needs of the people at those times when we landed in Canada or the US or whatever part of the world we were.
You know, I think when we ran institutions, it was easier to deal with the systemic issues that went along with that. But now that we're no longer running institutions, our efforts to get at the systemic issues, to get at the root causes and the policies that are affecting people have had to take a different route, and this is the route. Really, we use that as a platform for drawing the community into conversations. The research is just kind of the jumping off point, and then it's the conversations really, I think, will have the greater impact. Talk with folks from the different community centers, different agencies, pull together small groups and just have conversations about what we found. Does that match with their experience? You know, what concerns do they have about work? Find ways to take really good insights from those conversations and amplify them through media, through wider public events. We can have kind of that ripple effect of carrying the conversation beyond. Usually when there's a provincial or a federal budget, we'll put in a submission. Yeah, sometimes it is just calling up the local MP or MPP and having those conversations about issues.
We're trying to use the leverage we have as an NGO at the UN to gather the voices of our women in many, many countries around the world around some of the social and economic issues that are impacting their lives.
The changes aren't night and day kinds of changes, but they're, you know, one step at a time. That's all we can ask for. Even if we weren't doing it, we would have to try, just because it's the right thing to do, right? If it weren't working, we would try other methods, but we would still be trying.